Family tragedies are at the centre of the New South Wales flood crisis tonight, with the deaths of 3 people, and grave fears are held for another man missing in floodwaters. A man in his 30s died in Wauchope. The body of a 63-year-old man was found in Motto, just north of Taree, and a 60-year-old woman lost her life in Dorrigo. Multiple evacuation orders are in place, including parts of Port Macquarie, Nambucca Heads and Kempsey, with Coffs Harbour still on alert. We have reporters across the region. Victoria Pingilli begins our coverage from Taree.
The Pacific Highway at Corrikai, looking more like the Pacific Ocean during a makeshift rescue mission.
I jumped in my oyster punt and thought, let's go and see what I can do to help people.
It's quite dangerous out there. It was fantastic, absolutely brilliant.
2 different oyster farmers helped pick up dozens of stranded residents, including some who'd previously reached out to the SES for help.
We called them again an hour later, 4:30, and then again at 10 o'clock in the morning. We were told we're on the list, but they've just been inundated with calls. If it wasn't for that oyster farmer, we'd still be sitting there.
I've been in a lot of floods in the last 40 years, but this one is something that I would rather forget about.
They ended up here in Kupanook, itself one of the worst affected towns in the region, but not everyone made it to safety.
We have recovered 3 bodies by emergency service.
When an SES evacuation team passed through the neighbouring town of Moto, 63-year-old Dave Knowles directed them to a family further upstream. They couldn't find him on their way back. His daughter has described him as a selfless hero.
Just tragic, these things happen, just terrible.
The body of a man aged in his 30s was recovered near Wauchope this morning after he became stuck in floodwater while driving. A woman aged in her 60s has also been recovered near Coffs Harbour.
It has come through so fast. We have had to change completely the way we tactically approach these flood rescues.
Around 2,500 emergency personnel are out in the field, but even that huge deployment is struggling to keep up.
The triaging of rescue is really important, and it's important that the public understand that those who are in immediate risk of losing their life are the absolute priority.
And the biggest risk right now is on the mid-north coast.
The people on the mid-north coast, they breed them tough up there, but we need them to be tough.
The community support has been incredible, honestly.
We had 2 homeless men come yesterday and help. It's just amazing.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Help that will be needed for some time to come. Victoria Pingilli, ABC News, Wauchope.
And Victoria Pingilli is live for us in Wauchope. Victoria, you've been seeing other instances of the community banding together.
That's right, Nakari. Despite the exhaustion and frustration, local communities are coming together to help each other out in times of need. We spoke to a local firefighting crew in Kupanook today, it's just a town further south of us, who told us that they actually commandeered an abandoned boat in the middle of the night last night to go out and rescue 17 people who were stranded at their homes along with their pets. Now, these people say they contacted the SES for help, but resources are already so stretched on the ground they just couldn't get to them in time. It's one of countless stories we've heard today of people stepping up during this disaster. Authorities say they're now focusing their efforts on resupplying essentials to communities that are still cut off, including Taree, with warnings they may be isolated for some time to come. Nakari?
Victoria Pingilli in Wauchope, thank you. Well, the torrential rains that have pounded the mid-north coast are now set to head south. From midnight tonight, they're expected to move towards the Blue Mountains, the Southern Highlands and the southern part of the Hunter. And there are warnings that communities in these areas could find themselves isolated.
The Hunter region has had its share of rain. Now the news that a lot more is on the way.
It's nerve-wracking, can't sleep. Because you're tossing and turning, where's the water up to?
Jessica Collins has spent the past 24 hours trapped in her home in the town of Gloucester. It was a sleepless night as the water levels rose.
It kind of feels like COVID times, when you're sort of trapped. But lucky for technology and Zoom, we can communicate to people, which is good.
And she may be stuck for a while. The low-pressure system that's been menacing the mid-north coast will soon be heading this way.
Further south tomorrow, that Blue Mountains, Southern Highlands, Southern Hunter area, we're talking 6-hourly rainfall of 60 to 90 millimetres and 24 hours of up to 130.
For now, though, resources are concentrated further north, with hundreds of rescues still underway.
With the dogs and the pups, it's time to get out before it gets dark, and we've lost power to all the power points.
It's been fine up until about an hour ago, and then we realised that the bottom half of our house was going to go under.
Everyone was mucking in to lend a hand.
Oh, look, my son is a fireman, and they come down and had to get me boat to do the rescues this morning, and now my son's rescuing me and my dog's out of the house.
Amid the heartbreak, there was plenty to be thankful for. In Woolgoolga, volunteers at the Sikh temple were busy preparing food for anyone who needed it. While in Foster, builder Joe Haddon is mustering an army of tradies to be ready to help with the clean-up to come.
I'm a builder myself, and I've got a lot of building friends that have a lot of crew and stuff like that, so maybe if we can be of some sort of help come, Sunday or Monday.
For the moment, though, the water levels are still rising.
Like everybody, I just want this to pass without any further loss of life and get these communities back on their feet as soon as possible.
But for many areas, a warning that things are likely to get worse before they get better. Sean Tarrant-Goodwin, ABC News, Foster.
Well, let's go live to Sean Tarrant-Goodwin now, who's now across the bridge in Tuncurry. Sean, how are the evacuees there coping?
Well, Nakari, it's been a difficult couple of days for many of the people here at the Tuncurry SES Evacuation Centre. It's one of 15 spots that have been opened on the mid-north coast to receive people fleeing inundated properties. We understand that many of the people here were airlifted out of their properties to safety and then airlifted a second time to be brought here due to the large number of road closures on the mid-north coast at the moment. We've heard stories of people's efforts to save livestock which were unsuccessful due to the unprecedented nature of this disaster. Now those people will have an anxious wait for the rains to ease and for the waters to subside so that they can make the journey back north to assess the full extent of the damage.
Sean Tarrant-Goodwin in Tuncurry, thank you. Well, heading further south now to the Hunter, and Fiona Whelan is live for us in Raymond Terrace. Fiona, it's raining there now. Are locals prepared?
Well, Nakari, the warning to some in this area is prepare to isolate. As you can see, the rain has been getting heavier this evening. It is expected to grow even more intense tomorrow morning. And there is concern that some communities could be cut off by floodwaters. Look, some in the Hunter region already have been, and the SES here says their efforts so far have been focusing on resupply. In other words, they've been bringing food and water and medicines to those who are isolated and have run out of supplies. Today, the Premier Chris Minns, he visited SES volunteers in this area, and he also popped by the local pub here at Raymond Terrace to check in on locals and see how they're doing. They told him at this stage they are feeling pretty relaxed. Nakari?
Fiona Whelan in Raymond Terrace, thank you. Well, let's check in with our meteorologist now, Tom Saunders. Tom, where is the heaviest rain right now?
Well, Nakari, the trough responsible for the rain, it deepened today, and that has caused the rainfall to become far more widespread. So the radar shows falls have spread through most central and southern parts of the state. And since 9 a.m, more than 90 millimetres has fallen in Richmond in northwest Sydney, and Bega is up to 58 millimetres. Now, the expansion of the event has lifted the number of flood warnings and watches to more than 24, with most mid-north coast rivers still under a major flood warning. Now, here is the latest forecast rain for tonight. Heavy falls are still possible this evening on the mid-north coast before it eases after about midnight. Intense rain is then likely across the Hunter and Sydney overnight, which will linger into tomorrow, but also dip towards the south of the state. Now, that's triggered a severe weather warning for flash flooding for much of the east. It stretches from Bega all the way up to Coffs Harbour, and I'll have more details on when the rain will finally clear at the end of the bulletin.
Thanks, Tom. And if you're in the affected area, you can tune in to ABC Local Radio or check the ABC Listen app for the latest emergency warnings. The ABC Emergency website also has detailed information to help you prepare for severe weather events.